Ladies and gentlemen, what's on the menu for dinner this evening? That's right, curried sausages, direct from the food bank. Let's go. First things first, the microwave is 480 grams of beef sausages. You'll need to chop them up right after you fry them. First things first, we're going to cut up the vegetables. This is all done in real time, so let's just do them in real time. The specific ingredients we need is 1 small onion, or a medium-sized onion, depending on what you fancy. I don't mind the 2 little onion. I've got a couple of curried sausage meals in the fridge already. One of them is in the freezer, the other's in the fridge. You need 1 onion, 4 potatoes, and obviously the sausages that are in the microwave. The frosting right now. We obviously will also need 2 teaspoons of curry powder. I also have paprika, I'm going to use that. 1 onion, this will be there. I'm going to use 1 cup of water. I need 400 grams of diced tomatoes. 420 gram can of peas and carrots, as you can see here. Salt, pepper, 1 teaspoon of oil. Obviously that's going in the pan. We're also going to use 2 teaspoons of curry powder. If the potatoes are too small, we're going to use a total of 6 of them. In my case, my potatoes are small, so we are going to use a total of 6 of them. We don't need this plastic clip. Alright. We're going to need a fairly large sharpened knife, sausages, egg flip, cooking utensil, spoon, a knife that I intend to use. Measuring spoons and cup. We're going to be doing this properly, ladies and gentlemen. I usually do this by eyeball, but that's not appropriate. And as you can see by my potatoes, they're actually quite tiny, so I'm going to use 8. And I'm only going to be chopping off the roots. These potatoes are quite hard, they're okay. They're baby potatoes. Actually, no. Comet farm potatoes. I'm calling that. I think I'll take the peel off, and these potatoes are tiny, so I'm going to put out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Peel all 12 potatoes and chop them. I'll be right back when my vegetables are cut. Obviously we want to get ourselves a medium-sized frying pan to fry every vegetable in, including the onions and the sausages, obviously. Over here we have a pot with a total of 1 litre of water in it. It's for the potatoes you see here on the bench. You know what else is going in? Other than the salt and pepper? A teaspoon of chili paste, 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, and coriander, because that stuff is oh so powerful. All right, let's get this. Let's get these onion peels in the caddy. Better move fast. That stuff is getting hot. You need to give your onions some time to brown, ladies and gentlemen. Time to get back to these potatoes. That cutting board is ready for the sausages, and that onion is almost ready. Alright, let's get the potatoes back on and the onions back on. Medium high for the heat. Those onions are looking kind of dark. I'm going to give them a bit of a stir. I have too much onion in my curry sausages, ladies and gents, and they are looking nice and sweaty. So the next thing to do is to get out a bowl. And a bowl is to put all of the cooked stuff in. The onion's included. So we're going to pull out the onion now. Put the onion in the bowl. I'm going to get out my sausages. Sorry, not get out my sausages. I'm going to pull the sausages out the microwave and put them in the pan. And I'm going to start pan frying the sausages now. So once your onions are sweated down almost completely, not too brown, you are directed to pull them out, put them in a separate dish you're choosing. I'll choose a bowl. Okay. That's all the onion nice and brown, ready to go. The potatoes are cooking. I'm going to cook away for the next 20 to 30 minutes. And the rest of the time I'm going to start cooking up these sausages. So, because these were 480 grams to begin with, they need to be stuck in the microwave for a total defrost time it takes for 480 grams of sausages to defrost. You are then directed to remove them from the packet, so to speak. Please ensure that your hands are clean before touching meat. In my case, I always do. Grab yourself out a pair of tongs. Drop them all in there. And by the way, you want to drop all of your dry ingredients and your chili paste into the pan only after you brown your sausages. So ladies and gentlemen, I'll be back when the sausages are actually brown. But hold up before I go, they will take 15 minutes to brown. I just realized we do not need an egg flip for this type of meal. After your sausages have been browned, you'll need to take them out and chop them up on the cutting board. As you can see, those sausages are beautiful. Those onions are looking beautiful. And those potatoes, they're getting there, but they're not doing that hot. They will take a while to start cooking. You see that brown shit in the pan? It's exactly what you want. Now it's time to prep the sauce. The sausages are nice and brown, ready to go. They're not fully cooked, but they're browned. We're going to start off with the spices and then the literal flavour. We're going to stick it all in this white bowl here on the stove. Okay, first things first. 2 teaspoons. That is a teaspoon. I know you can't see it, but this is what you're using. 2 teaspoons of curry powder into the bowl. bag is proving to be very unreliable. Gee, food mate, could you stuck with a more inconvenient bag? One. Okay, that's two. Fun for the whole family because there's 1 teaspoon left. Sorry, there's 2 teaspoons left. Alright. Next is your 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika, that's 1 teaspoon left. Paprika is added for colour, ladies and gentlemen, that's all it is. I think there's 2 teaspoons here exactly. I'm not going to use this. I'm going to reuse this bag. I think I'm going to throw it out. Throw it out. One teaspoon of chili paste. I'm going to turn on the light so you can actually see it. Bear with me, ladies and gents. So there it is. The 2 teaspoons of paprika and the 1 teaspoon of chili paste, along with the 2 teaspoons of curry. I'm going to drop in a 1/4 teaspoon of garlic and coriander next, and then a 1/4 teaspoon of salt and pepper. This stuff's relatively easy, so I'm just going to leave the recorder on. I'm also going to leave that pan on because that stuff's frying in there. Fun fact, I rotate the lid backwards so I can get all those cracked peppercorns out of there. Get why, ladies and gentlemen, the coriander is actually way more powerful dry than it is wet. It's way more powerful than coriander paste. They're going to drop in 1 cup of water into the bowl. And we're going to whisk this up in the bowl, and then we're going to throw it back in the pan. But first up, we're going to simmer. We're going to drop this to a light simmer. So that will be 3 on your stove. 3 on the stove, ladies and gentlemen. 3 on the stove. I almost forgot. Let's add our herbs here real quick. There's 2 teaspoons of herbs, so I think I might just add the rest of it on this bag in particular. I'm just going to stir this up now. nice and beautiful sauce here. The rest of the water will come from the tomatoes and it will come from the carrots and peas. We're going to chuck them in immediately as soon as we throw the sauce in. But we need to wait for the pan to come to a nice cool simmer. So ladies and gentlemen, let me chop up my sausages here real quick. I'm sorry you're looking at my bag. You want to see some action here. So let me just move you guys over here. There you go, so you can see what I'm doing. That's the sauce mixed up in the bowl. So through that, wait, potato built out, and we throw this into the pan afterwards. But first up, we're going to get this in the sink. Because we're going to be rinsing it later for when we actually, cook up the potatoes. Whenever the potatoes decide they want to cook, and by the way, it's one of these, half a cup of one of these makes 1 cup of water. Because that is a FIFA cup. I need rehydration, ladies and gentlemen. Bear with me. Sorry. Sorry, I'm taking a wee bit. And that would be my support worker, so I'll put the video on pause while I live in. Hold on. Okay, time to get these sausages chopped up. That was my support worker that just popped in. Line these up nicely, ladies and gentlemen. Down the board. I like my sausages chopped up nice and big. Okay, about 1/5 size pieces. That's per sausage. But in these cases, that is if they were longer than this, but in my case here, I think I'm going to get 4 pieces out of each. And I just got 4 pieces out of each, which is fantastic. Okay, we can throw that bowl in the sink now. Okay. Now's the time we put the the pan on a cool bench, so it can cool right the hell down. Chuck everything back in. Remember, the stove must be on a low simmer, ladies and gentlemen. Do not, I must say again, do not put it on a high simmer. Do not put it on 4, you have to put it on 3. Okay, in goes the sauce mixture. A lovely sauce mixture. And hold on a second, got an important question to ask. Okay, moving on. Yeah, baby. Good stuff. Kind of. Okay. Perfect. Good. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give this a stir. Just moving away nicely. All right. Okay. now's the time we leave this on the stove for a good 25 to 30 minutes, or until the potatoes themselves are fork tender, and they got about 20 minutes to go. Okay, recording again. Ladies and gentlemen, we're having ourselves some cooked taters. Oh yeah, they're fork tender. Because they fall off the fork. Okay, that's all you want. Fork tender taters. Alright, time to mash some potato taters. Beautifully cooked. Alright. I don't mind clumpy potatoes as long as they're really nice tasting. I like to put a little salt with mine. Quarter of a teaspoon of salt. Just to give it some oomph. Need 1 tablespoon of margarine and half a cup of milk. We'll also need to use the tater masher. Which requires a rinse and a clean before I use it. I think I'll get back to you guys once I've mashed up the potatoes. This is the same dishwashing simulator. I'd like to thank the last person who fucking washed the smash. Potato masher. Didn't even fucking clean it. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not a happy man. Because my dishes were yet again not clean properly. Alright, moving on. Okay, clean tater masher. Again, you want to make sure your potatoes are fork tender before you start mashing. Mine were. And the goal is to have the consistency of fork tender potatoes mixed with the good stuff. Make it fit, that's why I only cooked 6. Sorry, that's why I only cooked 10. 2 tablespoons of margarine. quarter of a teaspoon of salt, half a cup of milk. I just eyeball it, whatever. Quarter of a cup of milk is there specifically for this milk. I might have used up a little bit too much milk, but that's okay. I like creamy mashed potatoes, ladies and gents. Creamy, milky mashed potatoes. That's what I like. Because they taste so good. And a whisk. That's not very nice milk. But you know what? Again, I like creamy mashed potatoes. A little lumpy to begin to end with. Alright, those are ready. That's pretty much it. Time to render this video out and get it out to you guys. If you guys enjoyed, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you very much. I've been the Royal Australian. Peace.